Today, I thought it'd be nice to talk about a quick organization method for keeping your node space clean within Davinci Resolve's Color tab. I recently started working on a feature-length film with 540 shots, and I ended up with a little bit of a bigger node tree than normal. And I noticed there's a couple key spots here where I can use compound nodes to save a little bit of space on my node graph. So let's jump right in. I'll show you what I'm talking about, and then we can talk about my node tree as well, because that might be a little bit interesting. So here we are on the Color tab of Davinci Resolve. And as far as saving space, because this node tree is looking a little big, we can take these two saturation nodes, select them both, and then right-click, go down to Create Compound Node, and there you go. Now you've got a compound node with just those two nodes in there. And if you right-click again, go to Node Label, let's rename this Saturation, or Sat. So now if you want to make adjustments here, you can jump in, and there you got your two nodes. And then down here on the bottom left, you can click back to what this is going to be your project name. So I have it named Miller Sylvania SP for Miller Sylvania State Park. This is some footage I took at a local state park here near Olympia, Washington area. Okay, and then be careful because you can also make adjustments to the compound node itself. So normally you're not going to want to adjust the compound node. You're going to want to go into it and work with its parts. So now looking at our node structure here, we can go back to our high, mid, and shadows. Let's make that another compound node. And I'm going to call this one node label color, because like I said, I like to use these three to adjust my colors. And we'll go in, and now if I'm just working on the colors, say I want to make the shadows a different color, we'll go over to our log shadow wheel. Maybe we want to make the shadows a little more blue. Or maybe we want to make those a little more warm. I'm liking this footage super warm. So there's an on-off. And then this gives you a way to separate kind of the adjustments that you're making. And you can also on-off the compound node to see what's going on in total. Okay, so we've compounded saturation, we've compounded color, and now all these crazy power windows, which I'm not even using right now. Let's reset that. Let's go to our outside. We might darken that up just to make him pop a little bit. No, we're not going to do that. I like seeing all that glow in there. So let's reset. And I'm using the Davinci Resolve Micro Color Panel, which is really handy. But you can do all this with just your keyboard. And I would say a big technique here is learn some of your keyboard shortcuts, like Control-D to turn your nodes on and off. That's really handy. Okay, so let's select all my power windows and create another compound node. And we'll node label this PW for power window. So now you can see we're really starting to save some space. And the film look creator and the dehancer node, that's part of my look. So let's compound those as well. Create compound node and right click, node label, look. Then if you right click within your node graph area, clean up node graph, now you can see I've got everything kind of cleaned up. And I would like to put my color space transform in and out of the way. And then I'm just working with these nodes here. And there's a couple reasons you would want to do this. Number one, now first let's just select all of our look and see what we're doing here. So there's the footage in Rec 709 form, and here it is with my adjustments. So I think that's looking okay. I'm kind of happy with that. And this will, if you're just working on your balance, this footage was a little cooler, so I just warmed it up. You can focus on your adjustments that you're doing without being distracted by this whole giant, huge node graph. And as you're getting into something, you just click into it. Let's make some saturation adjustments, and then click back out of it. Get into your color. Let's make your color adjustments. Instead of having everything all spread out, which might be kind of distracting. And I'm 2 cents on this or I'm of two minds, I guess, because I kind of like seeing everything so that I just like being able to see it all. So if you make some compound nodes and you decide, actually, I'd like to see all my power windows at once because I'm going to be working on these. I don't want to click in and out. You can right click and then decompose compound node, and then it's all back. So let's decompose all of these. Decompose the color one, and let's decompose our saturation. And our look one, let's decompose that. Okay, now everything's back. Looks like a mess. So we can right click again, clean up node graph, And now we're rocking. And then of course, if you want to save this, have your gallery selected, open up for power grades or stills, right click, grab a still. And if we delete all these, we can just drag and drop it right back on, and then everything's there. Now you can save this compounded or expanded, whichever way you like, but I thought that this was kind of handy. And now that I'm looking at this node tree, this is not that intense, so I would probably just leave this one up the way it is. But that's what I wanted to share today, how you can kind of organize things. And I watch a lot of tutorials on YouTube about different node trees, and you kind of take something from somebody that you like and then take another thing from somebody else and incorporate it to what you like. So maybe you like everything, but you know you're not going to be doing that many power windows. So maybe you compound your power windows, and then your node tree is just a little bit cleaner and less distracting. So hopefully you think that's helpful. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments. I'll try to answer everything that comes across, and I'll get another video coming out soon about Dehancer.